Board is Ms. Moses, right?
Yes.
Represented by Mr. Ocello. We have Mr. Harris in the prosecutor's office, Officer Rose for probation. We are here today for a sentencing and for a final probation violation hearing. Hold on just one second. All right, everybody had the opportunity to look at the PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any reason not to go forward with sentence today?
No, Your Honor.
We have 134 days of jail time credit, and we had, was it $80? What was the restitution on the monitor?
190.
I believe it was 190, Your Honor.
190, okay. Mr. Harris, anything from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The court's familiar with the defendant. She has an extensive criminal history. Based on the nature of the case being this an escape, I think she's shown that she's not amenable to community control. We are recommending that she be sentenced to prison at this time.
Anything additional from probation?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ocello?
Your Honor, thank you. On behalf of Ms. Moses, as the court is aware, we had raised the idea that back in May, when she was originally placed on probation, that she had had human trafficking underlying this incident where she had cut off her ankle monitor and left and absconded from the court probation. Unfortunately, we were not able to supplement the court with other than verbal information with any additional information to demonstrate that. Ms. Moses certainly is taking responsibility. I think having pled now, she's aware that the 2024 case with which there is some restitution that's owed, as well as this 2025 case is now before the court. She's asking the court to consider placing her on a period of community control with some inpatient treatment. As the court is aware from viewing the PSI and my conversations with Ms. Moses, there's a somewhat lengthy history of substance abuse which masks some underlying mental health issues that Ms. Moses has. I think those stem from some physical and emotional and sexual abuse at the hands of a relative when she was at a young age. It seems as if, just by looking at her history, that throughout time she's used substances to mask issues related to that. We are asking the court to consider placing her on a period of community control with supervision and inpatient treatment to address these issues so Ms. Moses can learn better coping skills rather than addiction and use. So we'd ask the court to consider this information and crediting the jail time that she has earned against any sentence.
Ms. Moses, what do you want to tell me?
I made a lot of mistakes, and I made a big mistake with my ankle monitor, but I'm asking so I can get the help I need. I do need help, and I know I need to be punished for what I did do, and I'm truly sorry. And I returned back to jail on my furlough, and I'm trying to make things right, and I would really like one more chance to even some kind of treatment and some mental health help.
Ms. Moses, I don't think the return to the jail was particularly seamless because there's currently an investigation going on to determine whether or not you brought something back into the jail. I'm not asking you to comment on that because it's probably in your best interest not to, but we may have another case coming as a result of that. But what I do know, Ms. Moses, is I have this slice of people on my docket to whom those people believe that the rules don't really apply to them. And that there's a rule, and that rule is probably good for general people like other people, but there's always this sort of way around it, or I should have an exception made for me. I think that you fall into that category, Ms. Moses, and for that slice of my probation docket, there's no way to supervise them. And to put you on probation, I think, is a sort of a meaningless endeavor. But, you know, my inclination on this case is just to sentence you to 18 months in prison. That's 9 months on each of these charges, and when you get out, you will be done with us. I will consider, though, Ms. Moses, and you may want to think about this and talk to your attorney about it, and if you don't want to make the decision today, we can come back. I would be willing to give you a shorter term of incarceration. So, in other words, it would have to be, so I have to have a consecutive sentence. Here's the other thing that I could do. I could give you 18 months. The other thing I can do is I can give you 134 days in the 24 case and close that case out. So we would only have one case. But I would impose 36 months in prison. That's the maximum penalty for that. And release you after 6 months in prison into a CBCF. That means that you would go to the Monday program, STAR program, someplace like that. So what you would be looking at would be 6 months in prison, followed by 4 to 6 months in a treatment facility, followed by probation. If you screw up your probation, I will send you back to prison and you will do 36 months. That's 3 years in prison. Or I can give you the 18-month sentence, 9 plus 9. Is that something that you want to think about? You want to talk to Mr. Ocello about it? Mr. Ocello knows all about this kind of stuff. He can advise you pretty easily. But this seems like a pretty big decision.
Your Honor, I just confirmed with Ms. Moses. I asked actually 3 times to make sure that I had understood her correctly. She would, if the court is willing to consider, she would ask the court to credit the 134 days on the 2024 case, close that out, place her on probation on the 2025 case for a period of, I don't know what you said, I'm sorry. Whatever period.
I'm not putting her on probation today. I'm sending her to prison today.
She would be sent to prison for 6 months. She would then be eligible for a CBCF, and then after graduating from that would be eligible for probation. She would like to go that route. I understand
Okay.
that she's not on probation. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
That's all right. Sure about this, Ms. Moses?
Yes.
Officer Rose, what do we think about this?
I think if Miss Moses hits the 6 months and she is genuinely serious about having help, the judicial could show that. But if she is not willing to do it, the CBCF will, if she gets unsuccessfully terminated from the CBCF, it will show she wasn't actually serious.
All right, there's nothing in the PSI to suggest we can't get her into a CBCF, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Harris, state opposition on any of that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. I find that you have violated the terms of your supervision in the 24 case. I'm going to give you I'm going to sentence you to 134 days. I'm going to credit you the 134 days that you have already done, and I'm going to terminate that case. We'll just do a neutral termination on that case. In the new case, I'm going to sentence you to 36 months in prison, and I'm not going to impose a fine. I am going to impose the cost. This also carries with it an optional period of post-release control. That means if you do your whole sentence, the adult parole authority can, but is not required to supervise you for up to 2 years after your release. If you violate the terms of that supervision, then you can be returned to prison for up to 1/2 of my original sentence, or if you violate by committing a new felony, then you can be returned to prison for up to 1 year, or the amount of time you have left on post-release control. It's automatically whichever of those is the longer period, and it's automatically consecutive to the sentence that you would receive for that new felony. We have $190 in restitution. I think, Mr. Ocello, what I'm inclined to do is to keep you on this case and set it for a hearing or a conference on judicial release in about 5 months. So
Okay.
you can go ahead and submit a periodic billing. I don't want you to get held up on getting paid. But Ms. Idle is going to reach out to you. We'll get a conference on judicial release, which will be in late July.
Do you want me to file a motion for judicial release so the court has record?
If you want to.
Whatever.
Probably makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, the law allows me to do a sua sponte judicial release.
Sure.
But might as well file a motion, keep a clean record.
Okay. Thank you.
Behave yourself while you're in the institution, Ms. Moses, or we don't even get over step 1. All right, you do have the right to appeal this at the 12th District Court of Appeals in Middletown. If you don't have the funds to hire a lawyer to obtain a transcript or to pay the costs, those will all be provided to you at no charge. Hopefully, I will see you in 6 months, and we will get you over to a CBCF.
Thank you.
All right, that's all.
Say it might be BI.